Do you know your city?
Hello and welcome to Do You Know Your City?
Today was gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
What are you doing?
Sorry, carry on.
A new travel
By
show
now,
on...
you should have somehow realized what you gotta do.
Do you mind?
No, I babysit. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
Right. Each week we
I
visit
don't believe
a new...
that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Right, genuinely, what are you doing?
We're in Manchester, man. I'm going Gallagher.
Do you know your city? It's time to find out.
So now Niall's had his fill of Oasis. Welcome to Do You Know Your City, Utter Radio's travel-based show. Each week we cover a new city, sending out the minions of Utter Radio to all corners of our focus city, which this week is Manchester. Yeah. Niall, what have we got coming up on this week's show?
Coming up on Do You Know Your City? Do you know your city? Do you know your city? Kieran drinks a pint. Eliza talks to strangers. And we've lost Teifi. Stay tuned to Do You Know Your
Niall. Right. What do we actually have coming up on today's show?
Sorry. Good question, though, Joe, and it deserves an even better answer. We are going to be talking about the history of Manchester. I explore Manchester, a lovely advert, talking to the people of Manchester, what you can eat in Manchester, going live to one of the smallest pubs in Manchester. Talking clubs, football clubs, Monopoly clubs, that's not right. Music in Manchester, hotels in Manchester, and a quiz all about Manny on the map. Make sure you listen very carefully, as all the answers from that quiz are going to be revealed throughout the show.
Impressive, Niall. Well, let's get moving. It is now 1:30, just past that, and you're listening to Do You Know Your City? And before we begin our show, we must first ask, what is Manchester and who are its people? Well, I found out.
It's that man again. Despite his meandering maneuverability, his strategical susceptibility, his infantile indefatigability, and his tendency towards tactical stupidity, he still remains.
And the imaginary sound of music.
What began with a Roman fort thousands of years ago, a city was born from the foundations. A city with deep industrial, commercial and sporting heritage. A tale of success from a raging canal on the banks of its steps. Years of experience fills the city limits, from wars to disasters. South of the Pennines lies an immortal city, the home of Oasis, New Order and a surprisingly extraordinary tram system. Not to mention a nightlife experience to brighten your life scrapbook and a football match day to hurt your throat. Of course, I'm talking about none other than the eternal Manchester.
Oasis have split, and according to Noel Gallagher this time, it's for good. Noel announced he's quitting the band because he can't work a day longer with his brother Liam. The final straw came when the two came to blows before a gig at a festival in Paris.
Ariana Grande returns to Manchester this week after the deadly bombing at her recent concert to headline One Love Manchester, a star-studded benefit concert to help raise funds for the City of Manchester and the British Red Cross.
The England footballer Marcus Rashford says he will never apologise for who he is after being subjected to racist abuse online.
In Manchester, an estimated 15,000 people gathered in and around Piccadilly Square.
I'm from America, so this is just a really big deal to see this impacting the world so far from home.
As showcased, Manchester's history will always stand through the tides of time. And to end our brief journey into the histories of this concrete town, I end with an infamous poem that sums up their crowd. We are a Mancunian family of sisters and brothers. For a time our strut is reduced to a stagger. But make no mistake, we'll rekindle our swagger. We'll learn how to live with another deep scar. If you think you can beat us, you don't know who we are. We're Collyhurst, Ancoats, Morstan and Stale. We're Oldham and Bury, Ashton and Rochdale. We're Pankhurst and Turing, the Gallagher brothers. We're Morrissey, Marr and a million others. We're a city of workers, a city of shirkers, a city of tracksuits and Bibles and burkas. Vegetarian, Rastafarian, atheist and Jew, 100% red, 100% blue. Each of us different, but never alone. In this cosmotopia, we get to call home. So come at us again, and again if you must. Time after time will rise from the dust. You'll never prevail, not against us. This is Manchester. Our Manchester. And the bees still buzz.
You're listening to Do You Know Your City?
Turn it up.
Wow, such a rich history, and this place is buzzing. Although they are pretty resilient, so be careful. Manchester has a lot of history, but not all that brilliant history is actually that well known. So in this weekly show, we're going to make the effort to give you the facts that you have never heard of. And this week, we're shining our torches right into the rear of Manchester.
To best represent this, each week I send off our beloved Niall Hegarty.
Hello.
To every far corner of the land, doing every strange thing imaginable to highlight the peculiar and interesting things that lie in the shadows of your city.
Where is it Joe gonna make me a go? Somewhere I don't know. Hey, if you see me in the street, ask me what is on the agenda.
Niall Hegarty? Hegender? You get it? What's on the agenda? Hegender?
To make it clear, I wanted to call this piece Niall's Day Out, but he holds way too much sway on the producers.
Anyway, this week Joe sent me off to one attraction in Manchester, so let's play a game. Coming up is a short edit of me visiting 3 locations in Manchester. It's your job to use your ears to determine which one I visited. All the locations are real, so feel free to check them out in your free time. So, which one did Joe force me to go to?
After Niall's journey, give us a ring on 0161 9496 0833 and you can have a guess. This week I did my research to find all the most important niche attractions in Manchester that Mr. Hegarty can enjoy. Sorry, Niall.
I hate you, Joe.
Right. Time to get to work. Right, where to first?
Hope you're thirsty, Niall. Get a taxi to M13BU.
Hiya, Uber for Niall, yeah?
Hello?
Joe, there's just a giant bottle of wooden Vimto.
Oh, yeah. You said you were thirsty. Well, interesting fact, this is the very spot that Vimto was invented. But never mind. Your next location is M13 9PL.
This train is formed of 4 coaches.
Are you there yet?
Yep. I'm in front of some sort of animal skull.
Well, that skull is the oldest horse skull in the world.
The oldest horse in the world. Right.
But never mind that. Your final location is M41HQ.
Hey mate, single to Shoot Hill bus station, please. It's a cat cafe, but you know I don't like cats.
Hello, Niall. Enjoy your time with your furry friend.
Oh, what the f***?
Welcome to Gift Gas voicemail. The person you're calling can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hello? Niall? Are you still there? Next week you're going to Farmer Giles's bee farm. Did you enjoy your day out?
I had the best of times, Joe. Especially enjoyed my time with the cats, my favourite feline.
I bet you did. Now, audience, time to phone in and tell us which of the 3 locations Niall visited. To remind you, the number is 0161 9496 0833. Call in now to give a guess. And while we link up our lucky caller, here is a message from one of our sponsors.
Where is it Joe gonna make me a go? Somewhere I don't know. Hey, if you see me in the street, ask me what is on the agenda.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da 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 da.
Need something to sweeten your day? Whether it's improving your morning cereal or your day, Farmer Giles's honey is at the rescue. New Farmer Giles's honey in Manchester food stores now. Farmer Giles's honey. Make your mornings sweeter. Farmer Giles's bee juice is all naturally farmed from bees in Manchester. Sugar content is not calculated and FJC is not liable to compensate in occurrences of refund. Shipping is UK limited and terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Utter Radio. Do you know your city? Now you're talking.
Welcome back to Do You Know Your City? Before the break, we asked people to call in with a guess for what was on the agenda, i.e., which one of 3 locations was I at? Was it the Vimto bottle, was it the museum, or was it the Cat Cafe? Well, we are joined by a lucky contestant who is going to give it a crack. So who do we have on the line today?
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Martha.
Hi, Martha, whereabouts are you from?
And I'm from Surrey.
Oh, you're from Surrey. Do you live in Manchester or do you still live in Surrey?
Oh, I still live in Surrey. I'm so excited to be on the radio.
Oh, I'm sure you are, Martha. Have you actually been to Manchester before?
Yes, I've been to Manchester a couple of times. I have a child in Manchester.
Oh, lovely. And have you been to any of the locations that were actually in the piece?
Yes, I've been to the Cat Cafe. I love cats.
Not like me, though, and you might have noticed I was not a huge fan of that. Anyway, we're going to get you to that question then, the all-important question. So, Martha, out of the Vimto bottle, the Cat Cafe or the museum, where was I?
I am going to guess, is it the Vimto bottle?
It was the Vimto bottle! Hey! Congratulations, Martha. You have just won a year's supply of Farmer Giles' honey.
See you later, Martha.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Well, guys, catch Niall again next week where I send him somewhere funny, entertaining, and pointless in your city. Check the Utter Radio website for any of those postcodes.
Where's a Joe gonna make me a go? Somewhere I don't know. Hey, if you see me in the street, ask me what is on the agenda.
Oh, beautiful.
Amazing.
Now, our roving reporter Kieran went to the streets of Manchester to see if you Mancunians truly know your city.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Do You Know Your City?
Turn it up.
Thanks, guys. I'm here in Manchester, in the city centre, in Piccadilly Gardens, to see if people really do know their city. Let's find out.
Let's find out if you know your city. So, did you know that? No. Nope. Nah. Nope. No. 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 Rings a bell.
Did you know that the first football league started in Manchester? It actually started in 1888. There was a meeting at the Royal Hotel in Manchester, which saw the professional football acknowledged as a sport in the city. Did you know that?
Not really, no.
No, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
No. Okay, I didn't realise it went back that far, no.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
I didn't. Learn something new every day, man, honestly.
Did you know that modern vegetarianism was created in Manchester?
Doesn't surprise me.
Really? No. Yeah, it was created by a gentleman called William Cowherd. He started his trend of eating no meat, and it was created in the chapel in Salford in 1847. Do you know that?
No.
No?
No, I just heard you say that and I didn't know that, no. Which is mint.
God, no, I didn't know any of these.
Kellogg's was actually founded in Manchester as well.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it was founded in 1938, and if you drive through Trafford, through the bridge, you can actually see the small Kellogg's.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it was made in a factory.
Yeah, I knew that. There's a factory in there.
No, I didn't have any idea about that.
No, I don't know much about Manchester.
47.
Wow, that is amazing.
You're listening to Utter Radio. Do you know your city? Now you're talking.
Wow, you Mancunians truly do not know your city.
That is surprising. I wonder if any people outside of Manchester knew these facts. Get in touch if you did at Utter Radio via our socials.
But do not worry, Mancunians. Later on in the show, there's going to be a quiz all about Manny on the Map, which gives you a chance to redeem yourselves.
But first, our reporter Nicole goes on a quest to find more about the Manchester food industry. Speaking of that, producers, did Nicole bring her that food back? I'm kind of hungry.
She did, yeah, but we ate it all before you got here. You shouldn't have been late.
I want a raise. All right, play the clip.
This is a tasty burger.
Manchester's restaurants are as great and varied as anywhere else, and it's only going to get bigger and better. From late night kebabs to vegan delights, hidden curry cafes to mind-blowing tasty menus. Here is a roundup of the best 3 restaurants I visited during my week in Manchester. The Sparrows, a cosy restaurant serving a variety of handmade European dumpling and spätzle dishes. If you're unfamiliar, spätzle is the Sparrow's specialty, egg pasta that's common in South Germany, Austria and Switzerland. Tattoo Restaurant and Bar, a beautiful modern take on Chinese food. The attention to detail in the restaurant's design and visuals is second to none in the city. Last up, we have Bundobust, which is Indian street food and craft beer. Bundobust serves vegetarian and vegan street food 7 days a week. Beer brewed at Bundobust Brewery is only available at Bundobust, alongside the best modern beer from domestic and international brewers. I took a trip down to Manchester's new Bundobust. Here is what Olivia has to say.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm the General Manager of Bundobust Brewery on Oxford Road in Manchester. Bundobust is the collaborative business of Maya Patel and Marco Huso. It's based around the combination of vegetarian and vegan Indian street food and craft beer. We typically recommend 2 to 3 dishes per person. We do encourage sharing, and so most of our customers prefer to order sharing combos. The most popular dish on the menu is the Bundo Chaat. Unlike the majority of the food, the Bundo Chaat is served cold. The entire menu is vegetarian and vegan, and a large percentage of dishes are also gluten-free. The interior design of Bundobust is inspired by the canteens of India, European beer halls, and American tap rooms. It started with a tweet. In 2013, Maya asked Marco to collaborate on a street food event. Maya's family run Prashad, one of the UK's most highly regarded Indian restaurants, while at the time, Marco owned craft beer bar called the Sparrow Beer Cafe in Bradford. After a number of sold-out events and pop-ups, the combination of Indian street food and craft beer proved too powerful a pairing not to pursue. Marco and Maya went on to open the first Bundobust in Leeds in 2014, with Manchester Piccadilly Bundobust following in 2016 and Bundobust Liverpool in 2019.
Do you know your city?
Amazing. There is lots to learn about the Manchester food scene, and I've got to say, that was very interesting.
It would have been lovely to have some of that tried that amazing cuisine in the studio, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have. It would have been amazing for you, Joe. So amazing. I can still taste it. Dare I say, potentially the most delicious...
Right, gonna cut you off there. If you want to check out where Nicole has gone this week, she visited Bundobust. All the details can be found on Utter Radio's website.
You're listening to Do You Know Your City?
Turn it up.
It is now just shy of 10 to 2. Now, we've all heard of Monopoly, and presumably you get it out every Christmas and are forced to make financial small talk with family members who, let's be honest, you don't really like. And by the end of it, you wish they were in actual jail and visiting hours were abolished.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you drawing from real-life experience on this one?
I'll never forgive Gran for bankrupting me, like squeezing blood from a stone.
Right.
Anyway, Manchester has its own Monopoly board in which popular locations take up the squares. So with that in mind, we're going to play another game. One of our Utter Radio minions has gone to Manchester, and in the upcoming clip, you're going to receive a bunch of clues from the Manchester Monopoly board. Your job is to work out where they are using clues given from the board.
So, for example, you'll be given a clue like Tom is standing on a green property. It is close to Piccadilly Station on the board, and in real life it can get really loud and really busy. Niall, what is the answer?
Well, it's loud, busy, close to Piccadilly, green property. Is it Piccadilly Gardens?
Correct, Niall. The first person to answer correctly after the clip is played wins. Ears at the ready, time to play the clip.
Picture this. You've just been visiting a friend who's found themselves in jail. You've rolled the dice and got a 1 and 3. Move 4 places, just missing the chance to buy the electric company. But stop before Piccadilly Station. You're on a pink square and it costs you £160. Where have you landed? Need more?
Interesting clues there. But the question remains, where was Teifi? Ring us on 01619496083 if you know the answer.
While you're at home, phone in with your answers and we'll crack on with the show and we'll come back to our winner later. But for now, we shall move on.
I mean, I know the answer. Can I ring in and win something?
Well, looking at our producer, she's shaking her head no. Plus, you already ate all the food that Nicole brought, so haven't you had enough from our show?
Well, in that case, Joe, I still can't get over just how good that food was. You should have been there. Oh, you must be starving, because my taste buds haven't quite recovered. Drink would be nice, though.
Well, speaking of drinks, we have the most important of reports coming up. Our knight in shining armour reporter Kieran is currently live at one of the smallest pubs in all of England.
This establishment has weathered time and disaster to serve the good people of Manchester beautiful ales and hoppy beers for over 180 years. Oh, the hangovers they must have caused in that time.
Yeah, tell me about it. Kieran now joins us from the Circus Tavern.
Kieran, can you hear us, buddy?
Hello, I can hear you, yes.
Hello, Kieran, how you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
Oh, we're brilliant over here, thank you. But how's
Fantastic.
the pub? What's the atmosphere like?
It's absolutely fantastic in here, I must admit. I'm absolutely swept away with it, not going to lie.
Yeah, obviously the smallest bar in Europe, I believe. Tell us how big it is. Is it tiny, is it?
Well, I'm looking at the bar now, and it's only got about 6 casks on it for beer pulling. So
you're limited for choice. You got to know what you want in a place like this.
Well, I mean, if you like Carlin, Guinness, Coles, Bitty, or Tetley's, this is the place for you.
What's the decor like, Kieran? We've had a little word that there are loads of celebrities on the walls.
You're not wrong. Well, when you actually come into the pub, you met with Floyd Mayweather. Everything's in plaques. You know, George Best. It's very football themed. You've got Man United everywhere you look. You've got all of the legends that once were. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I like the thought. Sorry, it made me laugh, but the thought that when you walk in, you're greeted by Floyd Mayweather.
He's just there. He's available, isn't he? Oh wow. Well, Kieran, just from your opinion, how many people do you think you could fit in this tiny pub?
Well, actually, talking to the landlord previous, I've actually been told that around 50 people maximum capacity can actually get in here on a busy day.
Oh yeah, about 50. So to be fair, that is a considerable amount of people. To be fair.
Yeah,
people,
I imagine, it is, I would say.
Well, Kieran, we're going to give you the chance now to go get set up, ready to talk to the landlord of the pub, I believe. So we will jump back with you in just a few moments, okay?
Thank you.
So, full disclosure, me and Joe, actually, a long time ago, did go to this pub once, and great place.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? Like, it's tiny, it's small, it's got character, it's got everything you can need.
And can you elaborate on what I mean when I say it's a very red pub?
It's Manchester United galore, Manchester United everywhere. They even kicked Manchester City players out when they went.
Poor Jack Grealish.
Oh,
Jack he went.
Just imagine Jack Grealish outside, like, I could have signed for Manchester United to get in that pub.
It's definitely, because obviously their niche is the fact it's the smallest bar in Europe, but it's definitely a sports bar as well. There's a lot of sports ties, boxing and football, rugby, a lot of sports ties in there. But yeah, definitely go check it out. But don't take my word for it, take the landlord's word for it. So we're going to jump back to Kieran now, who hopefully should be talking to the landlord. Kieran, are you hear us again?
Hello, can you hear?
Yes, sure can. If you want to go ahead and take it away, we'll just listen in.
Hello, well, I'm here with Barry, the landlord.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, yes, thank you.
No, I'm absolutely blown away by your pub, I must admit. I think it's absolutely fantastic what you've got here and all the sort of memorabilia you've got. Could you tell me an interesting story about the pub or who's been in the pub?
Well, basically, I took over the pub 11 years ago from Greek George, who's a massive character in Manchester. Crazy George, he was known as. He's had several different pubs all over the centre of Manchester. And previous to him was a chap called Terry Corliss, who actually had the pub for 31 years. And during them 31 years, he seemed to have a massive influx through the Irish fraternity with regards to ex-Manchester United players coming in, hence obviously Bobby Charlton, Shea Brennan, etc. and a few others. And from there, it's just basically graduated to more and more sports-oriented people. And with that, obviously, he's had pictures took, and basically we just put them up and carried on putting them up.
I mean, obviously, when you walk in, like I said, Floyd Mayweather there, so it's not just football you focus on.
Well, I think I remember about probably about 7-8 years ago. After having the pub for 4 or 5 years, I felt that, you know, just gradually get away from Greek George and then bring my theme into it myself. And you know, over that period of time, I left it to that, and then I thought, right, well, let's start doing my little thing. And obviously, I love my sport. I do love my boxing as well. And I've got a few well, Steve Foster's a very good friend of mine, so I have a lot of good friends.
Right,
I have a lot of good friends in the boxing game, so that's the ends where all the boxing comes from.
Perfect. Thank you for talking to me about fantastic.
No worries at all.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Kieran, how does it sound if you maybe order a drink at Europe's smallest bar?
Oh, yes, I can do that.
Do you want to get a drink sorted?
Yeah.
And while the landlord's sorting that drink out, I just want to put an amazing sort of note there. That is the Circus Tavern. That is in Manchester, near Chinatown.
Yes.
Amazing red pub, but I'm pretty sure they'll welcome you from all corners of footballing world, as long as you're not from Liverpool, City or Leeds.
So not all corners then, of most of them. Kieran, have you got your drink yet, buddy? Isn't Ellie ready?
Yes, I've got it here, yes.
Go on and have a sip. Give us a nice little review. Go on.
That's beautiful.
Oh, so Kieran, is it nutty?
Is it foamy?
Is it hoppy?
Does it have a surprisingly fruity note which lingers on the tongue?
It has all of that. It's absolutely fantastic.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Kieran. We'll check back in with you a little bit later. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Utter Radio. Do you know your city? Now you're talking.
Did we assign someone to carry him home?
No, you'll be all right. I'm sure the good people in Manchester will look after him and get him a taxi home.
Well, if you do see a drunk Yorkshireman in the Chinatown area, we apologise for any inconvenience it may cause to your day.
So, moving on, not too long ago, we asked the people at home, where is Teifi? We played an audio clip with clues according to the Manchester Monopoly board to figure it out. In case you haven't heard it, here's the clip again.
Picture this. You've just been visiting a friend who's found themselves in jail. You've rolled the dice and got a 1 and 3. Move 4 places, just missing the chance to buy the electric company. But stop before Piccadilly Station. You're on a pink square and it costs you £160. Where have you landed? Need more?
So, we can confirm that the location was Old Trafford.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm being told the lucky contestant has been the first to answer correctly.
And that contestant is James Buckley. Congratulations, James. Our producers are going to be in touch shortly with a prize of £100 voucher to spend at the Manchester United Megastore.
Well, fat load of good that's going to do him if they're a City fan.
You're listening to Do You Know Your City?
Turn it up.
So, we can't mention Manchester without mentioning the fierce rivalry in football that exists here. The Red Devils versus the Sky Blues.
Of course, we're talking about Manchester United versus Manchester City. Well, our reporter Teifi only went out and found out all about it.
Thank you, boys. Yes, I am here at Manchester Derby, which is due to kick off very soon. The supporters are lovely at the moment. Currently, there isn't much rivalry. In fact, some switch who they support each week. But they are about to face each other for the very first time. And they're off. 1881, the teams are meeting for the first time, although not as we know them, playing currently at St Mark's as hosts, known to you as City, but Newton Heath, or United to you and me, take the lead with 3-0. Reports say it's a pleasant game. We're only a short while into this rivalry, but both teams have made it to the Football League. Newton Heath in the 1st Division and St Mark's, which is the new name for Ardwick, in the 2nd Division. Both teams have now had a sub-change and... ignore that. That's a name change. Newton is now Manchester United and Ardwick is Manchester City. Should be easier to follow from now on. 1908, United have now gained some players who were banned from City following a financial scandal at the club. These transfers are seen as helping a fellow Manchester team, although I can't see that being the case now as they go on to help United win their first league title. Game has slowed down a bit now as we enter the 1910s following the Great War and into the Second World War. One thing we can see now is that a rivalry has been established. There is a more defined line between the sea of red and blue. I have a feeling we are heading into an age of serious football. And it's the 70s now and the rivalry is heating up. Major scenes on the pitch with United's George Best breaking City Glyn Pardo's leg.
Clearly that's the last we're going to see of Glyn Pardo. And it looks very much as though George Best is being booked.
In another game, Mike Doyle and Lou Macari both receiving red cards but refusing to leave. And oh my god, United are trying their hardest to avoid relegation. 80 minutes with no score.
Lee. Pulled across for Law! Dennis has done it! He'll not have scored a cheekier goal on this ground where he's seen so many triumphs. Just look at that little back heel.
What a decade. City seem to be playing some weird version of the hokey cokey now in the 80s as they get relegated and promoted back and forth from 1st and 2nd division, not to mention manager changes on both sides. Not sure about United's new manager though, this guy called Alex Ferguson.
I'm sure we'll do very well.
As we enter the 90s, both teams are doing well. City are establishing themselves as a team to watch. In the 1991 derby, let's see how they manage at Old Trafford. It's a tense game.
Manchester United believe we may be seeing the start of a very special career here this afternoon.
First senior goal for the young 17-year-old Ryan Giggs, and that he will always remember, I'm sure. A new league has entered the game, the brand new Premier League. The race is on to win the first ever season.
And it was almost the last kick. Manchester United finish on a high note appropriately. 3 goals to 1. The prize they've all been waiting for 26 years, the championship itself.
Also, it's important to mention that although the Manchester Derby is a huge event in the football calendar, many United fans consider the North West Derby against Liverpool to be more significant. But things are heating up on the pitch, particularly between Roy Keane and Alf-Inge Haaland. 2002, City are on a 13-year losing streak against United. I wonder if they can fix that.
Centre of midfield. And here is Gota! 3-1! That's the most important thing. Add to that 100 Manchester City goals for Sean Gota.
Incredible stuff. The derby and the rivalry continues into the 2020s, and who knows how it will develop. Both teams are strong and prominent in the league. Only time will tell. Back to you boys in the studio.
You're listening to Do You Know Your City?
Turn it up.
Well, two very fierce teams with very fierce rivalries.
Joe, is there anything you think that both sets of fans can get behind?
Both dislike Liverpool FC, I guess.
No one dislikes the Doon, though. How are the lads? Hide your jewellery. The Magpies are here. Let's go, Alan.
Right, swiftly moving on from football before Niall gets carried away. Have you ever wondered how to end the night in the pub? What club to go to, what to dance to, maybe you'll see Niall there.
That is right. We now need to take a look at the nightlife of good old Manchester, and I'd like to consider myself a bit of an expert in this.
Well, even though Niall's expertise was on offer, we went to an even better expert, our resident food, drink and nightlife reporter, Nicole. Sorry, Niall.
I'm offended.
Why? Why does Nicole get all the fun assignments?
Do you know your city?
You will be spoilt for choice when it comes to Manchester's nightlife. It has one of the strongest scenes in the country, boasting major club establishments and live music hotspots. First up, let's take it back to the 1920s. New Orleans. Blues Kitchen is Manchester's very own home of blues and rock and roll music. It is taking the form of a bar, restaurant and live music venue, serving some great American barbecue classics and New Orleans soul food. While downstairs it's all about the food, upstairs guests will stumble upon the hidden gem of the building. Disco 82, a place where guests can really enjoy live blues, jazz, soul and roots performed by some of the UK's most talented bands and artists. The concert hall is where the venue's inspiration really comes from. With an authentic speak-easy style, there's really nowhere else quite like it in the city. This week, I had the chance to visit the concert hall. Here is what soul performer Kay Marley had to say.
This is our first time here seeing Blues Kitchen Manchester. I don't know if you guys been to the Blues Kitchens in London, come here, dance your face off, eat some barbecue, and go have yourself. That's it. All right, let's get back. Y'all ready for the next song? Say yeah!
Now let's move to Escape to Frat Island, Manchester's permanent urban market and festival space, an access of food, drink, music, entertainment and family-focused happenings. Up next, I had the privilege getting to talk to a member on their team.
Hello, my name is Faye Atkinson. I'm the operations manager at Escape to Freight Island. I also work along the audio-visual art for Warehouse Project.
Okay, so let's start by asking, what is Escape to Freight Island to you?
Okay, well, we're currently the largest indoor and outdoor bar and restaurant. The project actually began just before COVID. It was predominantly just bookings, but now we literally take parties up to 200 people, as well as walk-ins. Our capacity now in the venue is 5,000 in one sitting.
Okay, so what makes the venue different from others in Manchester?
Well, we're lucky enough to be joined with Warehouse Project. That's a huge part of Manchester's entertainment. We don't specifically work for the events, but receive offers and deals for the events which are held there. Most definitely hear it when the events are on. I don't think there's many venues like us in Manchester. We're able to offer different sections of seating around the building. We're also introducing a 70s New York inspired roller disco, so that's coming just after Christmas. This will have an audio bar which will transform into a karaoke bar with an arcade. We also have the best beer in Manchester.
Yes, I noticed on all your staff t-shirts you have collaborated with Camden Town Brewery.
That's correct. We're lucky enough to have Camden Town's brewery's biggest collaboration outside of London. We're also in partnership with Salford's Pomona Island Brewery, which is a craft ale bar. In our wines and cocktails, we teamed up with Jane Eyre, that's just outside of Ancoat.
And lastly, do you have any upcoming events in the next month, even if it's in Escape to Freight Island or the Warehouse Project?
Yeah, so Warehouse Project, that's every Friday and Saturday. And then in actual Freight, every Wednesday we have the Untold Orchestra. They've played all around in different venues in Manchester. We have this Sunday Craig Charles as a funk and soul event. And we also have Homer Block, if you've heard of that. It's like a queer disco rave. It's all around Manchester.
Yes, I've heard of that before.
Yeah, so we have that in Freight Island as well as Warehouse Project.
You're listening to Utter Radio. Do you know your city?
Now you're talking.
Loads of places to absorb there. I might even visit some of them myself, because Manchester is a great night out.
We as students, though, can't forget to give praise to our local student union. Feels like myself and Niall spent almost all of our third year there already.
What a place. Big up atmosphere, bar and kitchen.
Well, yet again, any of the places mentioned by the report can be found online at Utter Radio's website.
But swiftly moving on, now we have time for one of our more peculiar features.
It's time for Motel Mystery.
So, in this section, we were planning to talk to an employee at one of Manchester's more popular hotels and ask them to give us their top 3 weirdest things left behind by their guests.
But after our producers made upwards of 50 calls, we didn't get a single bite from a hotel we tried.
Manchester hotels, get your excrement together.
So, in response to this, for this week only, we've tweaked the formula slightly.
We found 3 true stories of weird things left behind in hotel rooms within Manchester and have got an actor to read out the testimonies to give you the full motel mystery experience.
A very annoying actor, one might add.
Wow. Well, hopefully he doesn't hear you.
We've all forgotten our toothbrush or pair of socks, but we want to know the unexplainable.
So let's start by hearing the 3rd weirdest thing found in a Manchester hotel room.
So I've worked at the Manchester Travel Lodge for I think it's going like 7 years now. So I've seen some weird stuff in my time there. So I've got a top 3 ranking of the weirdest stuff I've seen while working there, and we're gonna go through it. So number 3. In my opinion, the weirdest thing I found, it was a message in a bottle, and inside the bottle was a wedding proposal. Now, I can only imagine the wedding proposal didn't go down too well, because otherwise, why would that be left behind? So surely, whoever was proposing, if it was a man to a woman or a woman to a man, either way, whoever the receiving party was, clearly wasn't overly fond of the proposal, because otherwise, why would you leave that behind? So that was at number 3.
So a wedding proposal in a bottle.
A wedding proposal in a bottle. This is a common thing in Scotland to put your proposal in a bottle. You're not even near the sea. You're in a hotel. Or did he? Or maybe he had a heart attack in a hotel, and he never put the bottle in the ocean, and his long lost love is over an island.
Well, as that handsome actor cleverly said, I mean, it mustn't have gone down too well.
Handsome actor. No, yeah, I'd imagine it hasn't really.
Do you know what I mean? If you propose to someone and it gets left behind, it clearly didn't go down too well.
No, awkward. Anyway, moving on. Let's hear the next most bizarre thing. This is the second most bizarre thing in a Manchester hotel.
So, what I rank at number 2 for the weirdest thing I found while working at Travelodge was probably a Siberian husky. And I remember this very fondly because I was actually the one that discovered it. So I was going into the room, and inside I heard like a whimper. So I opened the door. Obviously, I'm well aware at this point that something's clearly not right, and you expect the worst, to be fair, in that moment. And I go in, and there's just a dog, specifically a husky, sitting at the end of the bed. And I have no idea how anyone could leave their dog behind at a Travelodge. Either way, they did, and thankfully, in the end, what ended up happening was we rang the RSPCA, and they came and picked it up. And I'm unaware if the owners actually came back or reported for the dog. As far as I'm aware, they didn't, but either way, it's not what you expect to see on your daily 9 to 5, finding a husky in a hotel room.
Thoughts, Joe? Husky in a hotel room?
Oh, the poor doggo gets left behind.
The poor husky.
Oh, well, first of all, I want to say that owner is an awful... How can you forget the barky thingy that goes woof woof that you walk around with? Also, you must be, I don't know if you're allowed dogs in hotels, especially travel lodges, so it must have been like oh no,
smuggled in.
Maybe it's a seeing eye dog or something. This is a blind person walking around without the dog.
Do you mean a guide dog, not a seeing eye dog?
Is it a seeing eye dog? A blind dog? Well, a guide dog.
No, not a blind dog.
I think you're focusing on the wrong thing. There's a blind man walking around without his thingy.
And finally, the number one weirdest thing found left in a Manny hotel room. Let's hear it.
So, ranking in at number 1, the weirdest thing I found while working at Travelodge. I had to give this some thought because there has been some weird stuff. But this one by far stood out to me as the weirdest thing that we'd found. And since it's getting close to the Christmas time anyway, I figured why not feature this one anyway. It's very appropriate. It's sort of like 2 birds, 1 stone. And what it was, we found a small army of 6-foot-tall nutcracker soldiers. So we went into the room and there was just a collection of these giant nutcrackers in the room. And we have no recollection of anyone actually taking them into the room either. We even checked the CCTV and didn't even see who was checked into that room bringing them in. So we have no idea how they actually got in there. Either way, we all had a good laugh about that one. I think we actually kept a nutcracker because no one actually came to pick them up. I forget what we did with the rest. But we've got one. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around here. But that by far was my number 1 weirdest thing I found while working at the Travelodge in Manchester.
A small army of 6-foot-tall nutcrackers.
Wow. Well, how did you forget that? I'm starting to question the actual realism of these stories. I feel like the person or the testimonies we found is someone who was on drugs in the Travelodge in Scotland.
Well, I'd like to emphasise they are all real things left behind in a Manchester Travelodge.
Wow, incredible. It is great what you can find left in hotels these days, though. I once heard someone left a live shark in a shark tank in an Aussie hotel.
A shark? How did they get a shark in there?
With persistence, one imagines.
We're going to need a bigger hotel. Well, they are anyway.
That was Motel Mysteries. Woo!
Thank you very much.
On the topic of sharks, Kieran must be hunting in the waters for his next beer.
Let's check up on Kieran and see if he is staring down the bottom of a bottle. Kieran, how's it going, buddy?
Kieran!
Kieran! He's talking to somebody else.
Kieran is there.
Kieran!
We can hear Kieran, but he's talking about Sky.
Who's eavesdropping in this conversation?
Let's listen.
What's he saying?
What's he saying?
So I know when that.
Oh, Kieran! Well, let's cut Kieran off. Kieran is way too involved here for his beer. He's clearly he's forgotten his job. He's actually he's at the Circus Tavern right now. He's enjoying beers. Oh well, it's all good. We tried to check back with Kieran. Never mind.
I don't know what we expected to happen, to be honest, when we sent him to a pub. He's obviously, 3 deep right now.
Oh,
probably.
yeah, of course. Well, anyway, Kieran, cheers for no update. Enjoy your pints.
Yes.
See you later.
You're listening to Do You Know Your City?
Turn it up.
Anyway, it is 2:15. Let's check back with our Manchester Monopoly team for the final time. Listen closely, as they have yet another list of clues for you to work with to guess their location. One is going to win another great prize, like James did earlier.
Ears at the ready, let's hear it.
The game is getting tense, but you've just scored free parking. Roll the dice again. And it's a double 2. 4 seems to be your lucky number. You move 4 spaces and landed on a red square. You can see Manchester Airport and decide to settle. You decide to buy this slot, costing you £240 and makes your friends irritated by blocking their chances of collecting all 3 squares. I wonder what it's like down there. Shall I give us a clue?
So you reckon you're all right now, do you, love? Remember a good old-fashioned belt on the side of that till if he gets stuck and starts playing silly beggars.
So where am I?
So, as you can hear there, Eliza's in a location, and from the clues given, it is your job to figure out where. Phone us on 0161 9496 0833 to register your answer. It is first come, first served, and the winner will be announced shortly. So, before we move further into the show, let's first take a look at the core area of Manchester. What core area am I talking about, Niall?
Of course, Joe is talking about the music.
Manchester has been the home in the cast list for so many emerging bands over the years, and some of the greatest bands in history.
So, to give us an idea of how infamous music is in Manchester, Eliza went ahead to report about it all.
He ain't heavy. He's my brother. And heaven knows I'm miserable now.
You're a true Mancunian if you can name all of the bands just played. The Hollies, the Smiths, the Stone Roses, Joy Division and Oasis. Each band found their signature sound right here in Manchester. Manchester's music scene has produced many successful bands over the years. From all the way back in the 60s with the Hollies and the Bee Gees, and acts like Joy Division, New Order and the Smiths bursted onto the stage after the punk rock era. Manchester was then transformed in the late 80s to the musical and cultural scene known simply as Manchester. Manchester was closely associated with the indie dance scene, and artists began merging indie music with elements of acid house, psychedelia and 1960s pop. Bands like Happy Mondays, New Order, The Smiths and In Spiral Carpets gained popularity and cemented themselves within the iconic Manchester music scene. But what about the pubs, clubs and dance halls that they found their signature sound in? 30 years ago, the Hacienda was one of the most influential clubs in the country. Opening its doors in 1982, it boasted live performances from the likes of the Smiths and New Order. It wasn't until the late 1980s when the focus switched from live gigs to the rising sound of house music and DJs that the club really took off. People travelled from all over the world just to be able to say that they had danced in the Hacienda on a Friday night. The Boardwalk was another club seminal to the Manchester scene, where Oasis played their first gig and DJ Dave Haslam hosted the Yellow Club Night until the club's closure in 1999. In the late 1990s, a Manchester musical Walk of Fame was commissioned for Oldham Street in the northern quarter of Manchester. The walk includes a triangle slab for each music group and pays a homage to the bands such as the Stone Roses, the Happy Mondays, In Spiral Carpets, 808 State and James.
Do you know your city?
Wow, I love so many of those bands.
Okay then, name a few.
Well, there's Oasis, The Blossoms, Joy Division.
Okay, I guess you were paying attention.
What'd you take me for? An amateur?
Anyway, moving on. We are now approaching the last element of our show. But before we get to the big finale quiz and before it steals the show, we must first have a word from our sponsors.
Stick around. We'll be back shortly.
Gala Gherkins! We've taken a nation's favourite food, and the nation's favourite musician and combined the two to make something totally out of this world. Manchester. Are you ready?
This burger's missing something.
Well, slap on Oasis and slap on a gherkin, you geriatric fart. This party's only just beginning. Our squadron of pickled carts span all across the great city of Manny, waiting to spread our gala gherkin joy to all who want to eat it. It's simple, you fools. Just find a cart, buy a jar of gala gherkins and shove them in your face, you fruitcake. Not convinced yet? Well, let's hear it.
I've got to be honest, it wasn't great.
And that's not all. Maybe you fancy a new order. Or on a happy Monday, well now, we serve pudding. Cake that! Fun mang treats for all the family, so come on down to one of our food carts, you cheeky fools, and stuff your face with gala gherkins. Maybe Sally can wait. But can you?
It's time for the quizzes of quizzes. Do you know your city?
Ooh, epic. Welcome to the Do You Know Your City quiz. That is a mouthful, isn't it? We'll just nickname it the Big Quiz. As we mentioned at the start of our show, this quiz will be based on a variety of information that has been mentioned in our show.
I hope you've been listening, but even if you haven't, maybe you're brainy enough and you can just play along at home anyway. And, just guess, you'll be fine.
Today, Ben and Nicole join us to tackle our big quiz and win a prize of £50 supplied by Utter Radio exec Gary Morrisroe.
And to spice things up, myself and Joe will be assigned one of the contestants, and whichever one of our contestants wins, we get a pizza courtesy of Gary, our CEO.
So, Niall will have Nicole as his contestant, and I will have Ben as mine. So let's talk to our contestants. Hello, Ben and Nicole.
Hello.
So there's Nicole. Can we hear Ben?
Hi.
Was that Ben?
Was that Ben? Very feminine Ben.
That was just me.
So that's just you, Nicole. So Nicole, your key to getting me a margarita pizza. Not to mention, you're also going to win some serious dough. So please tell me you're feeling confident.
I am very confident. I'm 100% going to win.
You're 100% going to win. I like that confidence. I really, really do. Because we're both, with a bit of luck, myself and you are both going to profit from this, which ideally, 50 quid's better than a margarita, but is it though? Because we all like margarita at the end of the day. Joe, what's your favourite pizza?
My favourite pizza is a meat feast, and when Ben does eventually arrive, he will. Well, we've got word now he's here. Ben, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, Ben, you are the key to getting me a meat feast pizza. Please tell me you're confident.
Somewhat confident.
No, I don't like to hear that, Ben. I don't like to hear that. There should be more confidence.
Joe, I can feel Nicole's confidence. I think
I am very...
Yeah. See, I'm going to have the hot, steamy, cheesy pizza.
So, guys, the way this will work, both contestants will go in turns back and forth. Both will have 10 seconds to answer a question. The person with the most correct answers will win.
And if you don't have enough answers correct, you're losing. You're a loser.
Yeah. You'll lose. If you run out of time and your 10 seconds is over, you'll get a question incorrect.
So just so you're aware, if you get a question right, you're going to hear this noise.
Whoopee.
And if you get a question wrong, you're going to hear this noise.
Oh, well, I don't think you hit that note.
And of course, that was the infamous Liam and Noel Gallagher.
So are you both okay with the rules, yeah? Do you understand?
Yep.
Yep.
Brilliant, yeah. Right, so now starting with Nicole, we're going to begin the big quiz.
It's time for the quizzes of quizzes. Do you know your city? 3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go. Nicole, what animal populated the cafe I visited on What's on the Hegenda?
Cat.
Correct.
Whoopee.
Ben, what was the brand of the massive bottle of pop that Niall visited at the start of the show?
Vimto.
Whoopee.
Correct.
Which ancient people created the first settlement, which was the start of Manchester, Nicole?
Greek.
Oh, well, I don't think you hit that note.
It was the Romans.
And Ben, what is the insect that represents Manchester?
The bee.
Whoopee.
Correct.
Nicole, where did Teifi go in her Monopoly section?
Old Trafford.
Whoopee.
Correct.
Ben, where did Eliza go in her Monopoly section?
Shoot Hill bus station.
Oh, that was a trick question.
I don't think you hit that note.
No.
It was Coronation Street Fair. Nicole, what mode of transport goes through Manchester that is commonly the colour yellow?
Tram.
Whoopee.
Correct.
Ben, what is the official name for the body of water that passes through Manchester?
The River Irwell.
Oh, well, I don't think you hit that note.
And that is time up, guys.
That's incorrect.
It is the river.
No, it is the Manchester Ship Canal.
Oh.
Never mind, don't worry about it. Well, Joe?
I have to say, I'm disappointed. Well, congratulations to Nicole. You've ruined me the opportunity of getting rid of my hunger, Nicole. Well, Niall did get his pizza. Well done, Nicole. Niall got his pizza in the end. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Nicole. With 3 points, you clearly know your city. £50 is coming your way. Spend it wisely and maybe, make him feel better. Buy Joe a pizza.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, she is so ecstatic, the connection is failing.
And of course, commiserations to Ben. No £50 for you. How are you feeling?
Thoughts, Ben?
It's a massive shame. Really disappointed with my work today. I should have done better.
Yes, you should have. I could have had a pizza. I've been starving. Niall's already eaten. Anyway, thank you, guys. Thank you very much for coming on today's show.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for playing. See you later, guys.
Bye.
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 You're listening to Do You Know Your City?
Turn it up.
Well, there's still one more winner to announce.
That is correct. Earlier, we asked you to phone in your answer to our little Monopoly-based puzzle.
The question was, where was Eliza? Using the Monopoly clues from the Manchester edition of Monopoly, you had to figure it out.
Well, let's hear the clip again.
The game is getting tense, but you've just scored free parking. Roll the dice again. And it's a double 2. 4 seems to be your lucky number. You move 4 spaces and landed on a red square. You can see Manchester Airport and decide to settle. You decide to buy this slot, costing you £240 and makes your friends irritated by blocking their chances of collecting all 3 squares. I wonder what it's like down there. Shall I give us a clue?
So you reckon you're all right now, do you, love? Remember a good old-fashioned belt on the side of that till if he gets stuck and starts playing silly beggars.
So where am I?
So we can confirm that Eliza was at.
Ooh.
Give me some suspense.
Oh, sorry.
She was at Corrie.
Oh,
Coronation
Street. Wow. I'm receiving news of a winner. Congratulations to none other than John Parker.
John, you have won a visit to the set where Coronation Street is filmed here at Media City. Our producers are going to get in touch with you shortly to sort your prize.
Well, join us again next week for another case of Monopoly puzzles based in editions in your local cities.
You're listening to Utter Radio. Do you know your city?
Now you're talking.
Well, that's all we have time for this week on Do You Know Your City?
Yeah. That's sad, isn't it? We've done a lot of stuff in today's show. What have we done? We've
done all sorts.
I threw you out in Manchester.
Yep.
We spoke to Kieran who's at a pub. We lost Kieran at a pub.
We lost him in the bottom of a glass. Oh, no, yeah. You know what? It was funny in the end. It was very, very funny.
You know what? Yeah, it worked. It was fine. I think next week it's going to be brilliant. But anyway, that's all we have time for.
Yes. Be sure to follow the Utter Radio Instagram for alerts on our next show at Utter Radio. And, of course, listen to me again next week, going to yet another location that Joe forces me to go to.
Yes, it should be another week of terrific fun. Next week we should be visiting Newcastle.
Yeah! Hey! Oh, we love it. Best city in the world. I'm coming home. Watch out, Northumberland. The prodigal son is returning.
Well, at least I'll be able to find a hilarious attraction for him to visit that will make him miserable.
Oh, great. Actually, you know what? Let's have our favourite jingle one more time before we go and we can sing along.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Sing along at home if you know the words as well.
Come on. Sing along.
Where is a Joe gonna make me a go? Somewhere I don't know. Hey, if you see me in the street, ask me what is on the agenda.
Oh, truly amazing. Anyway, for now, though, it is goodbye from me, Niall.
And goodbye from me, Joe.
Do you know your city?